What's up, you guys? Godzilla fan freaks, aka Kamen Rider fan freaks, coming at you today with another figure review. And today we are looking at a Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts figure. We are going to be looking at, from the web series Kamen Rider Amazons, this is Kamen Rider Amazon Omega. Really awesome figure. I just gotta say it again, Tamashii Nations, it doesn't make sense how you can do all of these amazing figures and everything for the price points that they are, but then when you have their line like SH Monster Arts and stuff like that, they're more expensive and they're less quality and they're garbage figures. Almost pretty much every Kamen Rider figure I've gotten from Tamashii Nations has been a 10 out of 10. You know, same thing with like the Tekken figures when I reviewed those. Those figures are just awesome, amazing, and it just baffles my mind that we have a humanoid character figure like Jet Jaguar that they finally did a couple years ago. He's over $100 MSRP. But then you have these Tekken figures, you have some of these Kamen Rider figures that are, again, that humanoid type figure. Nice sculpt, good paint, articulation is awesome, and they're under $100. Heck, sometimes you can find some of these guys for under $70. It just doesn't make sense to me still to this day. But that's why we're reviewing some awesome figures here with Kamen Rider stuff. And again, Kamen Rider Amazon Omega here is no exception. He's awesome. I love his metallic paints. He just looks beautiful. And he pairs very well with the Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha that I got for Christmas. I love Kamen Rider Amazons. I was late to the game with it, to where it's not available anymore to watch on Amazon with subtitles. I've actually had to just do some deep diving, do some of my own research, and then one of my good buddies, Max, that I met through Matt Burkett from Monstrosities, he was actually able to fill me in on kind of like the plot, what the characters', you know, motivations are, their backstories, what's going on with them, to where I've opted to buy the Japanese Blu-rays for Kamen Rider Amazons, and that's watching it without subtitles, but at least I'm able to watch it. I really wish Amazon would put it back up on their site. Why they took it off, I have no idea. I can only guess it was some sort of licensing or rights issue, possibly. But considering that Amazon themselves helped produce this show, it just still surprises me that they eventually took it off and it's unavailable to watch on there now. So yeah, I've had to watch it just purely Japanese, no subtitles or anything, but with the context that I have and everything else, I've been able to piece the show together. I still have yet to see season 2, but I've seen I own season 1, have watched it a couple times, and then I own the Final Judgment movie. And I've watched that 2 or 3 times. And again, just, you know, watching it multiple times, piecing it together. There are some Japanese words that I know. So there are some things that I know what they're saying. But of course, they're like basic words and stuff like that. But it's been a fun show regardless of subtitles. I've had an awesome time with it. The suits are awesome. The violence is great. I love the dark, gritty tone. Here's hoping that we get get Kamen Rider Amazons back on Amazon, or we get maybe a Blu-ray release or something here in the States would be nice. But I'm just fine getting the Japanese Blu-rays. Like I said, I still got to get season 2, and then I'm almost debating getting like this box set that came out, which has the movie, and then it has seasons 1 and 2 compressed into their own movies. So I'm actually curious just to buy that set, just so I have another collectible from this show in the collection, and then just to see how they compressed it and see if there are any differences or changes or whatnot, or, you know, any different extras on that set too. But I love this show. This is probably my top favorite Kamen Rider show. All honesty. It's amazing, and again, I love the suits, I love the designs, they just look great. So again, we're 5 minutes in, enough blabbering. Let's take a look at this figure by looking at the box that he comes with. There are a few different Kamen Rider Amazon figures out there. This is the basic Kamen Rider Amazon Omega. There's another deluxe one that comes with like some flame effects. Whether it has any updated articulation or anything, I can't really tell from pictures. But from what I've been able to look up online, it seems to be the same figure. They just have a deluxe version that comes with a few extra pieces. But this figure is awesome. The articulation's good, the sculpt's good, the paint's amazing. He comes with some accessories. But here's your box. Again, all your legal jargon. You got some nice pictures of the figure. I love the open your Amazons tag that they got still. And just overall, just great nonetheless. Really happy to pick this guy up. I still like Alpha's design more than Omega, but Omega here is still pretty cool. Let me go ahead and get him centerized here. We'll let him spin a little while longer. But I mean, great sculpt. Great articulation. The paint, I love the metallic colors on these guys. The metallic colors just are awesome. They're so beautiful. You can get some really nice poses, and then again, you got some basic accessories. But really, for the price point, even paying a little bit into aftermarket for this guy, no buyer's regret. And that says something. Because again, I know that I'm buying a quality figure. So the fact that I had to pay a little bit more than what the original MSRP was on this guy, I'm not even going to complain. Because it's a fantastic figure, and it's actually worth the little bit of upcharge. That's all I have to say. Like, again, Tamashii Nations, they don't make sense to me. They make these awesome figures, but then their SH Monster Art stuff is garbage, and it's more expensive. Same company. None of that makes sense to me, guys. Okay, I'm done beating that dead horse. I think I've beaten it enough. But, no, Omega here is awesome. I mean, he just looks great. Again, let's just dive right on into this figure. I'm going to let him go one more spin here, and then I'll take him off the turntable, just get one last good look at him. 360. He just looks great. Amazing. Not a perfect dead-on stop like I usually do, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and move the turntable out of the way, and let's take a look here at Omega. Now, one thing I will mention about Omega here, which I did, I watch figure reviews just like anyone else, sometimes even before I make a purchase. And one thing that I saw that was noted on this guy for all the figure reviews I watched were his knee pads. Those come off, but they come off very easily with this figure, unlike the Alpha one that I have, which those have never popped out. But these, they did pop out very easily. And all I did was, because it doesn't hinder the articulation at all, is the little peg holes that these are pegged into. If you're having an issue with those, just dab a little bit of super glue. Little bit of super glue, peg them in, let it dry, boom. No issues with the knees. No issues with the knees at all. These don't pop out anymore. So, easy problem solved there. But overall, man, this figure's nice. Again, the paint, let's dive right in. The green, the metallic green all over the body, looks fantastic. All the line work, again, you guys, the quality of this figure. No bit of slop. The line work with the metallic reds just looks amazing. You got those nice translucent red eyes. He's got a gold horn with a little translucent tip on it. Nice silver. The orange here for the chest and the abdomen area. Very, glossy, shiny. Down here on his belt driver belt, again, you have very nice reds and silvers that, again, have a nice shine gloss to them. His gauntlets, very nice, shiny black. And then he has, like, areas where it's matte black. So, like, back here, his thighs, and it all blends together really, really nicely. But just all the line work, no bit of slop whatsoever, which again, I don't understand. Does Tamashii Nations, do they care about the Kamen Riders more than the Kaiju stuff? Do they care about this line more to where they give it just a little bit of extra love? Because I've never really had any joint issues, no paint issues, no detail issues, anything with the Kamen Rider figures. They are fantastic action figures. It makes me hate to rag on Tamashii Nations so much. But these are so nice. Overall, paint, fan-freaking-tastic. Detail, absolutely amazing. I mean, again, even the line work, because all of these are like indented. They're not just painted on a flat surface. You actually have grooves and, you know, indentation. There's a proper word for it. But all of that is there. Even these lines down here, it's texturized. He does come with swappable forearm pieces. I like the bigger blades more. It definitely gives him a Batman type look. But it looks better than the small blades. The smaller arm blades just look a little stocky, and they don't look as good like the ones down here. That is the one that is what I will say about detail, is that these blades down here on the backs of his shins, I don't know. They just don't look as good to me. Same thing with the ones on his back. There's just something that's off about them. They just look off. And I didn't want that to portray in his arms. So I took the shorter ones off, and you could put these longer ones on, but the longer ones look better in my opinion. All the detailing and the translucent eyes looks really nice. Again, all the line work in the helmet, the horn, the muscle tone in the abdomen area. Looks a little blocky. It's not my favorite Kamen Rider like chest piece, I guess, but it's okay. All the detail, though, in his belt driver, really, really nice. Again, down to the boots. You just got line work in there. That's really, really nice. Detail and paint all the way around is fantastic. He does have the armband. And again, for as small as this is, I don't even know if I can get it to focus, you guys. For as small as that is, the detail is good, and then even just the little blue eyes that are on it. There's no bit of slop, barely. But he has an awesome little armband there. Throwback to the OG Kamen Rider Amazon. But fantastic. Articulation. He can't really look up very far. He is limited because of the shape of the helmet and then the neck. But he can look down very nice. You can look left. You can look right. You can get some tilt action out of it. Arms can bend out at the shoulder. These shoulder pads you can kind of move around to get him some extra. But they also kind of move up and down there. You can bring them forward. You can bring them backwards. Spin them all the way around if you want. Elbows. Nicely done, but also you're limited because of the armband and then just the way the gauntlets are. So you don't get a really crazy bend at the elbow, but you get enough. Wrists. You can rotate and kind of bend and, you know, tilt. Does have an ab crunch, a little bit of an ab crunch in there. Of course, you can turn him left and right from up here and at the waist joint. His belt driver just kind of sits on loose, which actually helps out with movement a little bit. You can kind of get some side-to-side tilt action. He can kick forward very well. He can kick backward ever so much. You can pull those down because it's the old pull down system with this guy, and you can get a nice side kick out. Plus that also helps with his range of movement forward and backward. And then you can pop that back up in there. He does have a thigh swivel. Swivel those thighs. Knees nicely bend. He could get more of a bend out of the knee, but again, you have these his spikes here, which you can only bend that far, but good bend in the knees. Ankles, you could tilt down, you could tilt up. He's got really good pivots, really good ankle pivots. And then you have articulation in the toes. So overall, Omega here hits all the right notes, and he just looks awesome. He looks fantastic. He stands okay too. You can get him to stand very well. Boom, just like that. Didn't really have to adjust much. Accessories for this guy. Of course, an SH Figuarts figure that's humanoid. You're going to have a bunch of hands. So, I mean, you got, you know, another fist, which all the hands are nicely detailed. They're just all black, but very nicely detailed. You have like more open type hands. I don't even know if these are a lot smaller, so getting these to focus might be a little tricky. But you got some like open, kind of like almost pointing type hands. And again, the detail is in there. He's got kind of the little bit of claws on his fingers. Let's see, you got different types of gripping hands, because he does have weapons. Spoiler alert, Kamen Rider Amazons, they have weapons that they can pull straight from their belt drivers, which is why one side is removable. But we'll get to that in a second. But several options for gripping hands. And that about does it for the hands. He does come with a slash effect, just like Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha did. Although his does not fit as snug. His is pretty loose on his forearms. But you can get it on there, and again, you can get some cool poses just to give him that slashing, you know, through the air effect, which is really nice. But it's really a nice plastic piece. You know, you got some white and then translucent plastic up towards the end. And then again, one side of the belt, I believe it's this side, or is it this side? No, it's this side. One side of the belt driver does pop out, but be very careful. This is very, very tiny, so you do not want to lose this. If you lose this, it's gone forever, and then your Kamen Rider Amazon's only going to have one handle on his belt driver. But you can pull this out, set it off to the side, and then that helps give the, you know, illusion that he pulled it from his belt. He comes with a knife, which again, there's the handle of the belt driver. It doesn't plug in or anything. Totally different pieces. Again, they're really small. I don't think I can really get it to focus. I apologize, you guys. But again, different pieces. But he comes with a knife. And he comes with his spear lance, which is really cool. So you can have him hold both these types of weapons. And I also, the review after this is, spoiler alert, is going to be his motorcycle, the Jung Lader, is what I believe it's called. Jung Lader? It's not the Jungler. Jung Lader, I think is how it's pronounced. But his motorcycle also comes with accessories for him, because he did use more weapons in the show besides the knife and the spear lance. He has this whip thing, which is articulatable. It just has kind of like a bendy wire in it, so you can bend it however you see fit. So he comes with that. I'm just bonusing these in the review because they are his accessories. And then my favorite is he came with this little scythe. which is probably my favorite out of all his weapons. But again, all are painted beautifully, a nice gunmetal color, and then again you have the silver and the reds, but again, nice details on the handle. So you can have him hold any of his weapons. You can even do the same thing with Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha from this line. You can take off his little belt piece and you can give him one of the weapons if you want. But Alpha never really used any of his weapons from his belt. And then just to wrap up the review here, you guys, just for size and scaling and for fun, I do have Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha here, just to pair them kind of together. Just so we have both Amazons on screen. I love both of these guys, but again, I do prefer Alpha. I like the character a lot more. I like the design a lot more, and they're just awesome. These figures are awesome. I'm glad to have them in the collection, 100%. And that about wraps up the review today, you guys, for Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Amazon Omega. Hope you enjoyed. Like always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks, aka Kamen Rider Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Atomic Blast and Rider Kick that notification bell and the like button. Don't forget to like and follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook and Instagram. And without further ado, you guys, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Whatever's fair, pal.